somebody brings me home. Tell me I'm not lost out at sea. Tell me that you're listening to me, feeling misplaced. Someone rescue me. Someone rescue me. Someone take me. I'm floating. Someone save me. I'm between two different things. Yeah, I'm thinking too much, I'm bursting at the seams. Tell me I'm not lost out at sea. Tell me that you're listening to me, feeling misplaced. Someone rescue me. Someone rescue me. Didn't wanna hide my feelings, keep all my emotions bottled up. Can't explain why I conceal it. Guess I'm holding back till I find the one. Maybe you're inches away. Could it be you keeping me safe? Yeah, think I'm seeing my saving grace in you, in you. You're the reason why I can open up, let down my walls tonight. We could run away, let our worlds collide. I'm staying where you are, 'cause only you could ever mend my tender heart. Oh, 'cause only you could ever mend my tender heart. Only you could ever, 'cause only you could ever mend my tender heart. Good luck catching me defenseless, not putting all my secrets on the line. I'm keeping up my love's defenses, waiting for the one I'll be calling mine. Maybe you're inches away. Could it be you keeping me safe? Yeah, think I'm seeing my saving grace in you, in you. You're the reason why I can open up, let down my walls tonight. We could run away, let our worlds collide. I'm staying where you are, 'cause only you could ever mend my tender heart. Let our worlds collide, 'cause only you could ever mend my tender heart. I can open up, 'cause only you could ever mend my tender heart. Maybe you're inches away. Could it be you keeping me safe? Yeah, think I'm seeing my saving grace in you, in you. You're the reason why I can open up, let down my walls tonight. We could run away, let our worlds collide. I'm staying where you are, 'cause only you could ever mend my tender heart. My secrets are all mine, 'cause only you could ever mend my tender heart. I'm seeing my saving grace in you, 'cause only you could ever mend my tender heart. I found the one, 'cause only you could ever mend my tender heart. I'm staying where you are, 'cause only you could ever mend my tender heart.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the LAS Premade League. So, things are looking very exciting, especially in Pool A, where we have both first place teams taking on each other 7 and 1 apiece. They're looking for blood here. This is going to determine who comes in first right now. This is a determining game here. This is the biggest tiebreaker, and I think this is going to be a match to be pretty big out of every single one that is coming up to throughout these next few weeks. This could be a finals matchup here, and we'll see if both teams are able to make this a big series, have a good time. But there are a couple of substitutes that have been made. We are going to see Mr. Killua from the mid lane down in the bot lane today, and they're just moving down a couple people. They're just swapping it out, and Dauntless is taking over in the jungle role. So everything is looking very good. What do you think, Wolven?
It's interesting to see the matchups. It sucks that Foot couldn't make it tonight since it is a big game. Pretty much
Mm-hmm.
decides who becomes from first place in Pool A. But I'm excited to see these two top of teams. Go head to head. I hope it's better than what we got last week.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it's not like a straight up shutdown like last week was. I hope both teams give it their all, and I'm looking for a good game.
Definitely. So we are going to be heading into draft in just a couple seconds. So we'll see what both teams have in store for us. We'll see what bands come through, and we'll see what people are targeting today. But what do you think is going to be taken away here?
Well, I'm thinking that CRB needs to take out the Seraphine.
Mm-hmm.
That champion, should always be prio pick. If none of your members play it, then you need to ban it. But Seraphine is definitely a prio pick for basically any lane besides jungle. I guess you could say top two, but that champion is just so busted. And it looks like Blue Milk is often to take out the Udyr. That's a respectable ban. Udyr is really strong in the jungle right now.
So they
And
are
it
going to
would
be taking away
also
Tristana.
Tristana. Tristana is an interesting ban. I understand a lot of Tristana is really strong, but I don't know if Killa plays Tristana. I've never seen him in ADC before, so I don't know if he actually plays that champion.
Definitely. But we could also see Troll Wrecker pick it up for the mid
Oh,
lane. It's very strong in both top and mid. But the Viego is going to be banned away, so no
I
more.
don't know if Viego's allowed.
Um,
Uh, so I don't know if that's actually Viego ban or if that's actually a different ban. I would get clear confirmation because is still banned in Legend Esports, as far as I know.
well, I mean, even if it, I just think that champion is very, very strong. And yes, Cerberus do take away that Seraphine. Like you said, it is the strongest B1 pick in the game,
Ooh,
in
and
my
then the
opinion.
cover of the Hecarim. I love the Hecarim. Love the seeing the Hecarim first pick. Hecarim's a super strong early game champion. In my opinion, he is the best early game champion at the
Mm-hmm. So it
Ooh,
is going
and
to
they're
be a
going.
Skarner in response here. Very, very strong pick. Does force a lot of players to pay that QSS tax, but in my opinion, if you're not positioning well, you are going to have to buy it. But if you position it very correctly and your team plays properly, I do not think that your main carries, or not everyone needs to buy QSS, even against the Skarner, because if you play around it properly, the Skarner will be able to just impale and blow up. But it's just dependent on how you execute. So it is a good, strong pick. Very strong in the early game, but as gold comes through, he starts to become a weaker champion, and it is going to be a Kaisa 80 carry for Duelist in the bot
Well,
lane.
I don't really agree with that too because Hecarim's still he's still viable late game
Mm-hmm,
because he has that
definitely.
fear. Because fear, in my opinion, the two most busted things in League of Legends is fear and charm. Because there's no you cannot outplay those two things. Once you get feared and once you get charmed, you're just sitting there pretty much. And I do like the Caitlyn pick here. Caitlyn with the Hecarim is amazing, and they're picking up Hero 39's
Aatrox.
Aatrox.
I know.
That is a champion you do not want to see Hero 39 on.
I know Hero does play Aatrox a very, very decent amount. That's an understatement. But he is very, very proficient on champ. He is able to play it, and I think it is
But
just
it
going to be the
is
comfort pick here.
it is interesting they did not they blind picked the Aatrox because
There are a
I
lot of
wouldn't be
counters.
surprised. Yeah, there's a lot of counters to him. I'm surprised that they didn't, try to go try to see if they could get the counter pick because you see that CRB has the Skarner and now they're gonna pick up the Thresh on top with the Kaisa, so they have really good disengage and engage for fights.
So a problem I do see with the Blue Milk draft is they picked the Aatrox, yes, but I do think they should have picked up the Morgana as their third pick, just because it just makes the Caitlyn that much stronger. It is one of the strongest lanes in the game, and also scales very, very well as the game goes on, and it would have
And
countered the Thresh pick as well.
They could be opting for the Galio. I know that Gurf plays a lot of Galio, so they could just say, hey, we can just, pick up the Aatrox before they ban it out, and let's see if we can get the Galio.
So they are trying to take away some of the top laner picks because Aatrox is a strong champion, but there are a lot of other ways to beat him. And Malphite is one of them. The Malphite just sit under tower, wait till 10 minutes, and then the Aatrox is not allowed to play the game.
Well,
so,
basically any tank top laner can just outscale Aatrox. Because if you put an Ornn there, you just, what is Aatrox supposed to do? He's going to tickle the Ornn. And I feel like Ornn would be great for CRB's comp at the moment. Oh, and they're banning the Gallia. See, now I'm confused. You ban a champion that Gurf can play, and you have no AP on your team that you're showing. Yeah, but Blue Milk is not drafting the greatest right now, in my opinion.
It is going to be the Wukong drafted before, Rico up in that top lane. Relatively good pick, and is just a safe pick as well. It has a lot of ways to disengage, there's a lot of ways to engage, very, very strong.
In my opinion, Wukong is in my opinion, Wukong wins that lane. Wukong wins against Aatrox, because Aatrox is all about trying to hit his Q combos in a consecutive order. But the problem with going up against Wukong can just get out easily.
Ooh,
and
the Alistar.
I don't like the Alistar here. They have no AP, no AP whatsoever.
Well, they still have their mid lane pick left, so it is going to have to be a Mage of Swords. Otherwise, it's going to be very, very difficult for Blue Milk to play this game out. So I am expecting maybe an Orianna, something along those lines. I would expect a hard control mage here.
But would Orianna be?
Orianna's really good with Blue
Milk right now. Because they have Aatrox and they have Alistar. So I guess Orianna could be.
Ooh, it's gonna be the Cassio.
Interesting pick.
Cassiopeia is strong into a lot of these melee bruisers who are forced to walk up, like that, like the Skarner, like the Wukong. She is able to place that miasma down, slow them down, and with that Rylai's is just able to kite them out. She is very, very strong into those relatively low mobility champions, but not into
I still thinking that you shouldn't have picked your top laner here. You should have just picked up the Morgana and just go for the Morgana. Yeah, and then I really don't know because CRB has a good comp, but Blue Milk does have really good engage. Once they engage, it's in team fights they win. But the issue is CRB has the early game really well right now.
I do think
because
CRB
they have all winning lanes.
I don't feel like Kaisa Thresh is able to outpressure a Caitlyn Alistar. It is very easy for them to disengage if Gurf plays it right. And the Aatrox, I think it is a skill matchup.
I feel like I understand because when you think of Caitlyn has the longest range, but Kaisa is a champion that can just deal out damage in the early game super well. She can wave clear way faster than Caitlyn can wave clear. So I can see why it's more, in my opinion, it's more of an even matchup because Alistar can't go in on Thresh, can't go in on Kaisa because they have too many disengages, and also bot lane also needs to be careful of because there is a Skarner.
I think the Skarner is going to be an X factor here. It's on the Skarner to get some early ganks off, get those lanes ahead, because I think Aatrox does outscale the Wukong. I think the Cassio outscales the Ahri. So if given the time, I think it's very, very important for CRB to look for early game snowballs, because overall I do think Blue Milk scales a lot better come late game.
They do. They late game, late game, Blue Milk's comp does scale a lot harder. You have Caitlyn who can scale. You have on top you have Alistar who just becomes an unstoppable tank, and then on top of that you have Aatrox and Cass who can just deal out damage like it's nothing. But the issue what I'm having Blue Milk right now, it's all relying on their laners to go even or win. And my issue with that is that there is a high chance that that's not going to happen because if you look at CRB, they have such a easy early game comp that can just snowball so hard.
Definitely, but I definitely do think it is a lot easier for CRB to make mistakes because of the champions they've chosen. They've chosen champions that like to make flashy plays, and if they do make some flashy plays and mess up, that's even worse for them. It is on CRB to make those mistakes, but it's also a lot easier for them to make those mistakes. It's a lot harder for Blue Milk to make any mistakes with their comp because it is very, very safe. They have ways to disengage very, very easily with the Alistar, with the Hecarim, with the Cassiopeia. They have ways to just play and kite back, just scale up. And I think their comp overall is stylistically a comp meant to either disengage or get picks, whereas the CRB comp is only meant to go in. They only have methods to go in, they have no way out of a fight.
Well, that's not true. They have disengage.
Other than the Thresh, they have no disengage.
Kai'Sa can disengage pretty easily with her E. Ahri can disengage with the R. Wukong can just disengage because he's Wukong. The only person that literally cannot disengage is Thresh and Skarner. But it doesn't really matter because if you see Skarner going in, and if Thresh can land one of those hooks, it's game over for Blue Milk on fights. Because they have such a good lockdown on if they can lock down on the Cass, if they can lock down on the Caitlyn or the Aatrox, there is no way that Blue Milk can counter that. Because they have to wait until late game.
I think once mid game comes, they will be very, very strong. It is just going to be playing well for the most part. If Blue Milk just takes their time, lets the game play out, just give up a couple drakes, it's going to be a lot better for them come mid and late game. It's all about scaling for the Blue Milk. If CRB does make a throw, it's going to be even easier for them to play this game. It's all on CRB to play this early game very, very well because their comp is very reliant on playing well in that early game because Ahri and Wukong and Skarner don't scale very well in the late game as gold income comes into everyone on the other side.
I'm also hoping, there's two things I'm hoping. I hope Killa does not bring Fleet Footwork. I hope he brings the Lethal Temple on Caitlyn. It scales so much better on it right now, especially with Kraken Slayer, and that's what you need to build because there's a Wukong and there's a Skarner. You need to build Kraken. You're not going to do any damage to them if you don't build Kraken. Second is that I hope Fossil builds Everfrost.
I do think Everfrost is the best.
Get in, stun them for the Skarner, so Skarner can just run in and pull them back. I hope those are the items they build. If it's not, then it's not. But I really think it's crucial for Ahri to build the Everfrost here for the Skarner.
I would like to see Killua build a QSS as well as Troll Wrecker. If they don't build a QSS, it's going to be very hard for them to win the game because those are the only two threats that they are going to be able to, or that CRB are going to be able to burst down because the Hecarim and Aatrox get very, very tanky and the Alistar is innately tanky. So if Troll Wrecker and Killua don't build those QSS, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to play because those are the only targets that the Skarner can go for. Those are the only targets the Ahri can go for because Ahri will never be able to kill an Aatrox or a Hecarim. Wukong will never be able to kill an Aatrox or a Hecarim. It's going to be trying to get on these carries.
No, I do agree. It's the same thing with Blue Milk. Blue Milk, Caitlyn Gurf, with Caitlyn and Alistar, Killa and Gurf are not going to be able to kill Kai'Sa Thresh. So it's up to Gurf to roam as much as possible with Alistar. He needs to realize that both his lanes, his solo lanes, are in a losing matchup in the early game. And he needs to realize that he needs to roam up, needs to see if he can get picks for his solo laner so his solo laners can start scaling early as possible. Because if he tries to stay there and contest against Thresh Kai'Sa, you're not going to get anything done. You're not. because they have too many disengage and engages. Because you can flay Alistar backwards with when he goes in, and then what is Alistar supposed to do? He stands there and does nothing. So it's really up to Girth to actually play this game correctly and use Alistar to the fullest.
I definitely do think both comps are good in their own ways, but I do think there were a couple of picks that could have gone a little bit better. We'll see how both teams are able to make these comps work out in just a couple seconds, because we are going to go to a quick break. We have predictions will be open in just a second. We'll see which team gets a little bit more, who gets the better of who. So we'll be right back in just a couple seconds while we load in. Take care, everyone. Be right back.
I saw you smile from across the bar. Yeah, she was pretty and so close but so far. She flipped her hair and I thought this can't be true. How does a man like me get someone like you? And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies. Just like that, you're coming closer to me. Come shake me, grab me, so I wake up from this dream. I can't breathe, come at me. I don't know if I can speak. Then she said, come with me and let's be free.
Let's be free.
The night is young and I think this could go far. The sky is dark but you're my shooting star. Could see your face reflect upon the moon. It was a pretty summer night.
Hello everyone, how are you doing? We're here with game number 1, Blue Milk taking on Merciless Esports Cerberus. We'll see which team takes home first place tonight in LAS in Pool A. So it's very, very exciting, but we'll see which one will take it home.
Yeah,
And it's looking really interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, I like what CRB was trying to do. They were doing something that a lot of teams don't realize that you could do, is that you can all just go into middle bush in the mid lane and just pretty much either invade or counter invade people pretty easily, because people don't expect that. But if you look at it, some of these runes are interesting to see. It's interesting to see that you have 3 conquerors on the side of Blue Milk. I don't like the Hecarim Conqueror, and I don't like the Cast Conqueror, but I understand you're going for that late game scaling, so you're trying to bring it. I think Phase Rush on both those champions are 10 times better, especially with Hecarim. You bring the Phase Rush to keep on top of them. Same thing with Cast. You bring the Phase Rush to keep on top of them, because you can't catch an Ari and you can't catch a Kaisa or Conqueror. So, and then on top of that, you see Caitlyn, who brought the fleet footwork, and I don't know about that.
So we do see both junglers starting in the bot side. There is a nice ward, though, placed by CRB. They are going to see where Hecarim is going to go. And now that they don't see him on the Krugs, they know that he is going to be going for that 6 camp clear. Just looking to clear out that entire jungle. They're probably both going to meet up on the top side.
Well, if you didn't realize, they warded his raptors and they warded his blue buff.
And I think an issue with that, though, is they expended 2 wards and you only need to have one of them down to be able to tell where the Hecarim is.
I guess to a point, but the thing is, now Heckman needs to be careful, and because since he doesn't know that he has been warded in both jungles, he can't gank, I guess you can say.
It is going to be a lot more difficult for him to find these early game ganks, but same with the Skarner. The Skarner is not going to be very, very optimal when it comes to ganking in the early game. He's very reliant on having his ultimate, but very good trade coming from Hero 39 up in the top lane. And it is a very skillful matchup, and if Rico doesn't respect the Aatrox damage, it's going to be rough for him.
Yeah, you need to wait. You need to get into at least level 3, level 4, and see right there. You just need to wait till you get your second clone on Wukong, and then Aatrox can't do anything because the Aatrox doesn't know which one's which.
So the Skarner might be looking for a gank. Hero is pushed up a little far up. They are pinging for it. They are going to be looking for that, and they know Hecarim is on his blue, or they should know. So it is on Hero to back up. Hopefully he does, but bot lane is getting shoved in, but here they go. They're jumping onto Hero right now. The clone is used early, and Hecarim is on his way, and Aatrox is sustaining his way through a lot of this fight right now. Third Q is going to come through, not able to land, but the stun is going to land onto him, and this is just going to be first blood for Rico up in the top lane.
Yeah, that was a really nice gank by Skarner. He played it really well. Hero 39, I kind of question why did you try to go to the cove? You should have just tried to peel back, E back, and flash towards your tower. That was actually an easy escape for you, but instead you put yourself in a position where you were just gonna die.
Well, in exchange for that, the Hecarim should just be able to go for a double scuttle here. I think that is the optimal play. Just put that Skarner behind farm-wise, and we do see that Executioner's Calling picked up by Rikuo. Very good pickup, especially against the Aatrox.
Yeah, I'd love to see the early Executioners, especially in lanes that you know you have to buy it. It makes sense. Yeah, see right there, like with that early Executioners right there, he's already chunking Aatrox so much.
Yep, that's usually how it goes. Executioner's Calling, one of the most I'd say unfun items to buy, or not to buy, but to play against. It is very efficient because it is only 800 gold, down from 850 last season, and
it looks
negates
like,
a lot of champions.
CRB is pinging that he lost both scuttles, so it's really smart that they know that hey, we lost both scuttles, we don't have River Pyre anymore, so just be careful. But if you also look at it, CRB has a really good ward in between Dragon Pit and Red Buff.
They do have
So
some
that
nice visions.
they
set
know
up.
where exactly where Hecarim's at, and that's really, really smart.
Definitely a good pickup from them. They are going to have some more information, but Gurf is also placing some vision down there as well, making sure that his team is not left in the dark. And yes, chat, I do think it is a net win for BM with getting both double scuttles. Yes, it was first blood given, but I think getting your jungler a lot further ahead, especially with the scaling jungler, is a lot better. And well played! This could just be a solo kill flash away from Rikuo. And not respecting the Aatrox once again.
Yeah.
Rico is very reliant on his jungler to do anything in this game.
He needs to respect the Aatrox damage. It's still Aatrox. Aatrox still does a lot of damage. And on top of that, it's Hero 39's Aatrox. Like, you know the man can play Aatrox.
Exactly.
So you need to respect it. Like, yes, you are Wukong. Yes, you're in a winning matchup. But the problem is,
it's not just a free win.
It's still Aatrox.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, I have a free win and blah, blah, blah. No, it's still Aatrox.
Mm-hmm.
And, ooh.
Oh, that's just a kill onto Hecarim. And apparently my directed cam decided not to go for that. Thank you, Riot Games. Well played.
That was just, so what happened is that Hecarim tried to go in for a gank, and I don't understand why he's trying to gank an Ahri. Like I said before, you cannot gank an Ahri. It's impossible. When she hits level 6, why are you in her lane? All Ahri did was just R forward, R backwards, and then Hecarim was just standing there, so she charmed him in the tower, and he just died.
That makes the most sense, but Skarner might be in a bad spot here. The Hecarim is going to win out on these duels no matter what happens. So we'll see if this is good. He is getting pinged, so the Skarner is going to be able to walk out alive. Directed cam once again not taking me to these fights, but overall, well played from the Skarner. Take it away at
Yeah,
camp
it
because
has-
of that failed dive.
It has me in bot lane, watching them CS. Oh, there we go.
You see Hero once again landing a nice trade onto Rikuo. But overall,
And
not
if
too
you-
bad of a
yeah.
game state.
well, yeah, if you look at it, so far the gold lead is going towards CRB.
Oh no,
But-
Rikuo is caught between a rock and a hard place. Here comes the Hecarim, using the devastating charge to keep himself alive, but he is going to be able to walk it out. Hero not opting to flash forward to claim that kill, so he is just going to be able to get away with his life and an ultimate.
Yeah, that was a really nice disengage by by Rico.
Uh-oh, here it comes. The Skarner's going to look for an impale, maybe onto Gurf here. Gurf is going to use that headbutt to push away the Skarner, but that is just going to be a free kill. And he's going to get donated, and yep, some steak
And
for
that's-
the Kaisa is very, very
And
delicious.
that's exactly why I think not picking the Morgana and going for the Alistar. Once Alistar gets caught out, yeah, you have your headbutt, but the problem is Alistar has no way to disengage. He has no way to get away.
Exactly. He
So
is a
once-
sitting duck, but Killua might have overstepped. Ooh, nice hook from Charenko. Gonna land onto him, and the box is gonna land, but he is gonna be able to make it out with the flash. Not gonna burn
Yeah,
the
that
heal.
would-
The box could have done its job, but he might be stepping over a little bit too far forward here. We'll
Yeah,
see
I
if they are
agree.
gonna
I
be able to
don't-
make something up
He
here.
shouldn't be staying. He has no mana. He has no HP. He needs to just reset. He needs to just get his item. Like start his item early as possible. Gurf needs to start realizing he needs to start roaming. You can't stay in this lane. You can't. You're just gonna lose this lane hardcore. You need to start roaming around. You need to start realizing, because if you look at it, Skarner's going for another gank. It looks like.
Yep. And Alistar's not one of those supports that is meant to stay in lane. He's meant to be roaming around. He's meant to be making an impact around the map instead of just sitting there. He is not the greatest laning support. And once again, Rico just taking another bad trade up in the top side.
Yeah, Hero 39 is using his Qs and his Ws really well. He's timing them correctly, and it's just Rico's not respecting that and expecting he can fight him. Like, yeah, you do have the executions, you do have the steel cap boots, but like, don't forget, it's still Aatrox.
Oh,
He does
Gurf is going to meet up with Charenko, and they're just going to be like ships passing in the night, you know, just saying hi and walking away.
that
two
was a lot of
supports.
damage just from a thresh hook. I mean, a thresh auto.
Play
We didn't
auto
see
does
that.
a lot. It's a lot more deadly than most people think it is. So, well, Thresh is one
Like,
of those
that
champions that has a deceptive amount of damage, but the charm is going to go hit that cast melee minion before anything happens. So Ari not going to be able to land that one, not going to look for the engage there.
And yeah, and at first, you know, you thought your Cass was winning, Cass was pushing him so well, but now it's Ari working for Ari because, like I said before, like Ari should win that matchup. Until Cass can get items, Ari can just.
Oh,
you
Gurf
know,
looking for an engage, not played away in time. Duel is taking half of his HP, and the W is going to miss. The Void Seeker is going to go wide, but Gurf's going to get hooked up and is forced to pop the Unbreakable Will to walk away from that
Yep.
one.
That was a nice engage by Gurf, but also nice disengage by the Thresh. Thresh realized.
Junglers
you know,
are
he
looking for
needs
something
to
up in the
use-
top side. Both of them are there. We'll see if Directed Cam wants to take me there. They are going to be pinged away, however.
Well, it looks like Hecarim wants to go in on the Wukong. He wants to get his Aatrox ahead.
He is going to look for it, but this is going to be a 3-man rotation up in the top side. Everyone is looking for a fight here. But Cassie is just going to opt to push her wave and maybe look for some plates, but I think it is a very, very risky decision. She's just going to push that wave and look for a base. Good base timing. Aria's going to...
Yeah,
but
I
Gurf
don't-
is going to get hooked again in the box, and the box is going to mean that kill is guaranteed for Duelist. Is able to take that one.
I'm really confused. What Blue Milk's bot lane's doing? You know that Skarner's top side. You know that Ari's top side. But you decided to push in your lane into a Thresh Kaisa. Again, you do not win that lane. Yes, you do have the you do have, you know, the out damage, you know, you have the out poke because you're Caitlyn, but the issue is it's still a Kaisa, and now you're giving Kaisa 2 kills, so now she's gonna back and she's gonna
Hero
have
might
her
be
Q up
bad
there.
spot once again. Zai is there on the top side. He does have the Impale, and Rico is doing a lot of damage. And he's going to try and heal back with the World Ender, but it's not going to be enough. The Flash isn't going to keep him alive for just a little bit longer, but that's going to be a monkey bonking you on the head, Mr. Hero 39. Oh, the Charm is going to go wide in the mid lane, but Mr. Zai is there. Maybe look for some damage, some decent poke onto the Ahri in exchange for that one.
Yeah, that was nice poke by the cast. Ahri, he saw that Ahri missed the charm, so she took that advantage and just started pretty much saying, hey, don't forget I still do damage.
They do see the Ahri down in the bot side, but they're still walking up. Hecarim is looking for a counter.
Yeah, it's
Kill was walking the wrong way. The Flay is going to mean the Charm is going to go wide, and here comes the Hecarim, landing that everything charge onto the Ahri. And this is just going to be Taranko falling down in the bot side here. Who are they going to give it to is the question. Everyone is going to take it. It's going to be Troll Wrecker taking that one, and a solo kill up in the top side. Rico is going to take that one onto Hero 39.
And that's what you do not want to see. Your Aatrox 0-3, and you do not want to see a 3-0 Wukong. That's really dangerous in my opinion. Wukong is really strong. We have seen Wukong in countless matches in the LAS draft, LRS draft, LAS Premade, and LRS Premade on stream before, and Fed Wukongs are dangerous.
Definitely, that Monkey Man is a very, very strong one. The one he's named after the monkey god himself. But this is going to be a Drake taken for the side of Blue Milk, and they are behind quite a bit now, just under 3k gold. It's not looking very good so far, and they're just not playing the way they're supposed to. They're playing too aggressive, and they're just not making the greatest decisions right now.
Yeah, it was a good decision that they try to counter
the bot side,
the
yes.
Ahri for the bot side. But my question is again, oh no, why did you go Gale Force? Oh, okay. So right now this Caitlyn, the build I don't like. I don't understand it.
Ooh, it's also going to agree for the tower. No, he is not.
My question is, what are you gonna Gale Force when you see Skarner, Wukong, and Thresh on you?
Yeah.
You're like,
You're gonna
you
die
can't.
anyway.
You're still gonna die no matter what. You can dodge, yeah, you can dodge that, but if Hecarim gets on you, you're still gonna die. I mean, I'm not Hecarim, I mean Skarner. Skarner gets on you, you're still gonna die. You want the Kraken Slayer so you can stay in the back line and you can poke as much as possible and kill the tanks. That's the reason why, if you look at all the pro builds, if you look at all the builds that even in solo queue, it's usually Kraken Slayer, because the Kraken Slayer just does so much damage for Caitlyn, and it scales so well for Caitlyn.
Well, the Kraken Slayer does give her some innate safety. Yes, she can get caught out, but overall it does add to her burst combo, and it does a lot for her. But Wukong is going in onto Hero 39, and he is diving him. He might just fall under his own tower, but here comes the Hecarim. Might land the Devastating Charge. It is going to land, and here comes the Unstoppable Onslaught. And Rico is very, very low here, but this could just be him being able to get away. This is going to look like a dive. Rico is very, very low. He is going to be able to walk out of this one. Well played from him.
Yeah, like I said again, Blue Milk. It's kind of like it seems like they're not in together. It seems like their comms are out of whack.
They're not communicating as well as they could.
Ooh, I like how the Wukong decided to go for the Divine Thunder. That's actually really smart. He's going for this. He's going for the scaling. He's not going for the Eclipse Blade that usually you would see on Wukongs.
So there were a couple of misplays up in that topside fight. The Hecarim was not able to push that Wukong into the tower and did not ult in time, but here comes the Skarner. Is going to use that Kemp to get very, very close, but he's not going to be able to claim that one. It is going to be a flash for flash, but a flashless Caitlyn, not what you want to see.
Yeah, you in my opinion, that's more beneficial for CRB because you just got rid of literally a crucial ability, a crucial summoner for Caitlyn. Yeah, she does have the Gale Force, but like I said before, if you have to Gale Force a Caitlyn E or a Thresh Hook, you're still gonna get hit by one of the other ones, and you're still gonna get hit by Skarner. So, in my opinion, it's beneficial for CRB. They can use the advantage to collapse on Caitlyn later in the game.
They definitely have a timer to look forward to. And the
Because
Skarner-
yeah, you did get like because I see chat just saying, well, a trade flash is worth nothing. No, it's not worth for Blue Milk because it's
Ooh,
Skarner.
they are looking for something. Hookah's gonna go wide, but Wukong into the backline is gonna land a double knockup with that spin. But here comes the Alistar over the wall, able to land a double knockup, and Rico is very, very low. Is he gonna be able to take that kill? It is gonna be Cassio taking that one. Gurf is low in the front line, but here comes Hero, able to land a beautiful third Darkened Blade onto Zai. And Zai is gonna be able to walk it out. He has the speed, he has the zoomies, and he's able to get out of there. And a lot of stuff burned for a Rift Herald, and that's 2 kills.
That was really nice. If you didn't see, Cass just stayed in the back lane she's supposed to and just kept on raining really good miasmas. And it was to the point where Wukong just couldn't do anything.
The Wukong just got obliterated there. He just wasn't tanky enough to be able to live through a lot of that damage. And yes, he played it well. He was able to land some knockups, but it wasn't enough to be able to deal with that Aatrox, with that Hecarim. They were able to get out of that fight. And they ended up losing, I think, a 1-for-2. Ooh, nice trap onto Rico. He is not going to take that much damage with the plated steel caps, keeping himself nice and tanky there, negating a lot of the damage from the side of BM.
So basically, what Blue Milk wants to do, you see that your Cassiopeia is 3-0. You need to play around her. She is your one con right now.
They are going to be looking for this Drake here, but they might just be caught out of a bad spot. No one is there. But they are going to land something onto Zai, but he is able to walk this one out. He is very tanky, and the Blast Cone is taken away, so that is a method that they do not have to fight for this Dragon.
Yeah, that's really nice that Wukong took away the Blast Cone. He took away either Hecarim's way to steal the dragon, or, you know, Hero 79 way to get into the Dragon Pit.
So
I like how CRB is pretty much pinching Blue Milk right now. They're pretty much saying, hey, you can start the dragon, but guess what? We're just gonna collapse on you.
they are starting that Herald. Wukong is not there yet, though. The Dragon is started up. Dauntless is very, very low already before the fight even starts. This is going to be a smite fight, and it is going to be Dauntless claiming that one up. That Onslaught is going to land onto 4, and the Cassiopeia stun is huge. That beautiful, beautiful stun, and Hero 39 up in that backline. Life stealing so much. He's able to land another Q and keep himself in this fight. He is still alive, but he is finally going to fall. And this is just going to be a team fight win for CRB, but a Dragon given over. That's 2 Drakes for BM, but at what cost? That is an ace for 1.
Yeah, and like I said before, Caitlyn had the Gale Force, and she Gale Force RE, but still got hooked. So,
There's just a lot of CC to dodge out from.
in my opinion, it's not worth buying. It's a waste of gold, in my opinion. You don't want to be on top of them. You don't want to be near them. You just want to keep on poking them. You want to have your Hecarim. You want to have your Alistar. You want to have your Aatrox be the front line, not you. And my opinion, Gale Force is more offense than his defense when you're playing Caitlyn.
Well, things are not going very, very well. We do just see the Kai'Sa being 3-0, as well as having just under a 40 CS, so she is almost unstoppable right now. She is outputting so much work here, but so is everyone on CRB.
Well, if you look at it, Wukong 6-2, Skarner 0-0-7, and then you have Ari
Oh,
and
Rico might be caught in
Kai'Sa
a bad spot. He's caught on the wrong side of the world, but he's able to walk away, and the Thresh Lantern is going to keep him alive. Just nice
That was a
having
really
your support
nice-
there shadowing you. Keeping you
Yeah,
in
that
a
was a
safe
really
spot.
nice Thresh Lantern. Thresh was just saying, hey, don't forget, you know, I'm here, I can get you out. But also, CRB needs to be careful giving dragons, since it is Cloud Drake. Cloud Drake benefits Aatrox, benefits Alistar, benefits Hecarim, and also Cass at the same time. So you can't keep on giving dragons up like that. Yes, you are getting kills out of it, you are getting gold, but Dragon Soul is really important.
Drake is
for
very
Blue Milk.
important, but I think an ace for a Cloud Dragon is definitely worthwhile, especially
definitely,
as
I
that
do
snowbally
agree.
comp. They want to get these kills so they can end this game as quickly as possible. That is the goal
But
here.
going down the line, you don't want to give any more dragons up. You
The
want
win
to
con-
try to secure the dragon as much as possible because they are still a scaling comp, and if you're giving them Dragon Soul or on point of like almost Dragon Soul, you're giving him too much scaling.
Soul is the win condition for Blue Milk here. They are looking for a way back in because they are behind. It's on CRB to make these mistakes. Like I said before draft even started, it is on CRB to make these mistakes because they have the comp that is very, very simple to execute. They have ways to play the game out. They have multiple threats, and all they have to do is just look for kills and take trades, trade a couple objectives for, for a couple kills. All they need is a couple kills to get these champions rolling. Ari with kills is hard to deal with. Wukong with kills is hard to deal with. And Kaisa with kills, that is a monster.
Blue Milk still is in this game because they still have a Cassiopeia who's 4-1.
The Cassio is very strong. The gold is where you want it to be.
Yeah, she has pretty much she has all the gold on her team pretty much. She has 2 items. She has Laundries and Zonios, which is really good, really 2 items. And then she almost have a completed tier, or I think that is a completed tier. Is tier 360 now?
Yep, tier is 360, so she is
yeah,
sitting
so
on
she
a fully
has
stacked tier.
Fully stacked tier, so she can complete her Seraph's Embrace whenever she wants.
The Ari is very strong as well. She's just able to force Aatrox away from the wave here. He's just not able to stand up very, very well. He is behind in both levels and CS. He is just not sitting pretty right now. And it's not looking very good for the top laner of Blue Milk, unfortunately.
Yeah, sadly, Aatrox, he tried his best, but like I was saying before, yeah, he was winning against Wukong in the early game, but the problem was you kept on overextending, you kept on pushing in your lane, and you just gave opportunities for Skarner to just go up there and just, get free ganks.
And that is something you do have to respect. The Skarner has a lot of pressure with that phase rush, with the stun. Even without the Impale, he is able to slow you down and stun you in place and allow his laners to do some damage, some meaningful damage. Because he doesn't have a lot in his kit, but everyone else does. His job is to keep you locked in place. So,
I don't know how I feel about Hecarim's mythic item.
The Chem Tank, he's looking for utility.
He's looking for utility, but I think he should have gone for the Trinity Force or the Divine Sunderer. I understand why he went for the Turbo Chem Tank. He's trying to go for the more tanky build, but you have Alistar.
So Wukong is not here for this fight. They are just going to start up the Drake. He is going to teleport, so this is the teleport burn. They are going to try and turn and burn this Drake before a fight starts, but Gurf is just going to be caught up. He's going to sacrifice his life for the dragon, and Wukong is stuck in a trap. He's not able to move. And they're just going to try and disengage. The Unstoppable Onslaught is not going to take him over the wall, and that is just going to be 2 for a dragon. But that was what they had to do. They have Soul Point now, and they are still down quite a bit of gold, almost 10k at this point, but I mean, they're trying to take these small victories as well as they can.
Yeah, no, you can tell Blue Milk is trying to stay in the game, but the issue was that, if you saw that, is that, yeah,
Charm gonna land, and this is just so much damage onto Fossil, but here comes Killua, gonna try and protect his mid laner. The Ignite was burned, as well as the ultimate, I believe, from the Ari. Yes, it was. So it's some summoners, but it's also going to be a Baron in exchange for that one. So yes, the Hecarim probably could have ulted after getting the dragon.
He could have, but I think Blue Milk won on the fight there because I think they thought they could fight. But the issue was you're sacrificing your front line with his Alistar way too early.
They could have just sacrificed Gurf. They could have looked for that play and take the Drake and leave, but they weren't able to.
Or just give the dragon. Just give the dragon and try to farm. You don't need a fight. You don't need to force dragon fights. You already have 2 dragons. You can give one up because you need to catch up on gold. You need to catch up on CS. In my opinion, getting that dragon was just not beneficial for Blue Milk.
I think overall the play was alright. They just traded Gurf's life. He is not worth very much at the moment, so they're just looking to try and give up that tasty steak for a dragon. But they stayed too long. They thought they could fight without the Alistar. Like, yes, chat, they thought they could fight it without the Alistar. They really can't, because he's their main way in. Hecarim can engage, but he needs some follow-up. He needs some ways to keep them locked down, and that's what the Alistar is for. And unfortunately, with him dying first, he was not able to help them out.
And again, if you look at it, Wukong's doing so much damage to Aatrox. If you saw it, he has Divine Thunderer on top of Black Cleaver. People didn't realize Black Cleaver is reverted to what Black Cleaver used to be. So Black Cleaver actually now reduces armor. So that means basically Alistar and both Hecarim are kind of gonna be useless against the Wukong if the Wukong can get a lot of abilities and
Nice
autos
try.
off.
Gonna keep himself alive here, but Rico is just diving Hero, and he's taking so much damage, but he's gonna take a couple tower shots in return for that, so half HP for half HP, but Hero is sitting in a world of hurt right now. A world of pain. They are just going to look to siege, they're going to look to 1-3-1, have their solo laners match up with each other, just try and take down these towers, and look for something, but the tower is going to be claimed by Rico. Here comes the World Ender, and he's taking a lot of damage, but so is Rico. Flash 4 from Gurf is going to miss the combo, unfortunately. Here comes the Unstoppable Onslaught, and here it comes, a shutdown for the Hecarim, but that's going to be a trade for the Inhibitor Tower, but here comes the Ahri. The Charm is going to land, but so is the stun from the Cassiopeia. The Miasma's going to keep him in place, but Fossil is going to be able to get out with that Spirit Dash, but this is going to be an in-hit. Flash 4 from Zai is going to be able to suppress the Cassiopeia, and that's Duelist collecting another one for his paycheck. And here comes everyone. They're looking to try and fight here. Tranco's very, very low, and Aatrox is able to claim one up on the front, but Kai'Sa's just too strong. He's able to jump into the backline and take down another kill. Killua is trying his best to output some damage, but down goes Dauntless, and this is just going to be a game-ending play for CRB.
Yeah, no, this might be game right here. You know, they have the push. They can just go on whenever they want. They're just trying to clear the wave so they can get to the towers.
Duelist is showing us what he is, a very, very proficient Kai'Sa player. Very, very strong. Able to output so much damage here. Able to jump into the backline safely and just do his job. And they're playing the comp very, very well that they drafted. They have one identity, and they're playing towards that incredibly well. Just jump in, dive, CC, and do damage. And unfortunately,
so now,
it was also a series of misplays.
You did give the opportunity for Blue Milk. Yeah, Blue Milk can use both inhibitors being an advantage. You did give them super minions to farm on, so that could benefit Blue Milk if they can use it to their advantage to get gold.
We do see Ahri trying to take a blue buff. She has no mana, unfortunately, so she's able to take that one with the W, but that was a really good play from CRB, and unfortunately Blue Milk did not play the fight well, and that is what cost them that fight. It could have been better. They could have waited for each other, but they did walk in.
If you look, Blue Milk
separately.
is wanting to get this soul. I don't think this is the correct.
I think they should give this
right
Drake.
Here. They need to give this Drake. If you're risking way too much right here. Because if you fail at this Dragon Pit,
that's game.
That's game.
And Wukong has a beautiful flank here. He can look for something. I think they should just maybe send Hecarim in, try and get a steal, but they should not all be here.
Yeah,
Ahri is going to try and land a charm, not going to land. Dauntless already taken just under half HP, and that's going to be a Dragon claimed up by the Skarner. And that Spirit Dash also claimed up or used up as well, and so is this Whirlwind from the Wukong. So they burned a couple of ultimates, but that is worthwhile because they were able to secure that Drake, able to play that soul point for Blue Milk.
No, and they're just CRB is playing this really well. They're playing to their comp. They're playing that their early game was better than Blue Milk's. They used Blue Milk's disadvantage, which was their early game, and they capitalized on it super well. Oh, looks like Wukong's TPing into the tower.
They're just looking to try and get the siege down, try and get a triple inhib, and trying to end the game with this play. They are looking to make this the game-ending play, but Rico is caught in a bad spot, taking a decent amount of damage, but has the death stance. He's able to take up a lot, but a beautiful stun from the Cassio is going to mean that Rico is going to try and get DPS down. The Cassio trying to output as much as he can. That Leandri's Anguish doing a lot of work here, but Gurf is stuck on the front lines, taking so much damage, and he is going to fall. But so is the Thresh in exchange for that one. The barrier is going to keep himself alive. The Ace in the Hole is going to try and land on Ahri. It is going to hit, but not much damage. But that is a lot of damage onto those Nexus turrets because of the super minions, because of the double in.
Yeah, that was a really nice kiting by the cast. The cast used the advantage that, hey, you guys are all just grouped up in one little like lane. I'm just gonna R you, and then I'm just gonna let my team kill you.
She is able to do a lot of work.
Claim the shutdown goals. Because that was a lot of shutdown goals that was going to the side of Blue Milk right now, and that's what you don't want to see. That you don't want to give any opportunity for Blue Milk to scale in the late game.
This is going to be a Baron in exchange for that play here. And I think what Blue Milk should have done after that is maybe try and set the vision to see if they are going to go for that Baron. But they were not able to in time. They elected to just try and save their towers. And that is going to be another Baron for CRB once again. Cerberus taking home another one.
Yeah, no, you need, in my opinion, you should have had your Heckam go and try to get vision as much as possible. He is the fastest. He can just go in and go out. You need to let your Cass get the CS as much as possible. She needs the gold. She needs to start completing her items. She did just have her Cosmic Drive, but again, she does not have her Seraphim Race. So that means her mana is gonna take a little bit of a hit still when she uses her abilities.
It is rough. It is going to be on Cerberus to make a mistake here. That's the only way that Blue Milk can win right now. Off the mistakes of Cerberus because they put themselves in such a big hole. They're down just over or just under 13k. They're just not in a great spot.
Yeah,
They
I
just
get
have to
if
live right now, look for a mistake, and they just have to try and defend their towers. They can't really look for anything at the
still
moment.
3 members. If you didn't realize, 3 members of CRB has not died yet.
So they are not using all the gold they have, but the Kaiser's going to pick up a GA. She's going to be impossible to kill right now. And that's a Void Staff picked up for Ari, so she's going to be outputting a lot of damage onto the Aatrox, onto the Hecarim, and onto the Alistar as well. Everyone, all the front line is very, very weak on Blue Milk's side right now, and it's going to be very, very hard to defend the Caitlyn and the Cassiopeia. But you saw they were able to do it on their terms. They played it well, but it's going to be... they're going to need to play that a lot. They're going to have to play perfectly from now on
If
in
you
order
didn't
to even
realize,
have a chance
Wukong now
of
has
winning this game.
Steric's gauge. So Wukong just needs to just wait until he can even engage, and then pretty much he just I'd be surprised if I see this Wukong ever die again.
So they are going to take down 2 inhibitors once again. The top wave is pushing away, so they aren't going to be able to claim that one, but I think 2 inhibitors is more than enough, especially with a Baron push. They are looking to end the game right here, right now. We'll see if Blue Milk does live for something. Here comes the Tangam Tank. It is going to be an unstoppable onslaught onto the Kaisa. She's taking a half HP. Here comes Hero on the front line. Having to do so much work, but the Hecarim is going to fall already. The Wukong is very, very low. The suppress onto Troll Wrecker. Zonias is going to come out, stand golden in the middle of everyone. And Duelist is just so tanky. He has that Death Dance. He has the Guardian Angel, and he's not even going to proc it. There he goes, jumping into everyone. And only the Wukong is going to fall. The Kaisa R shield was gigantic. That Killer Instinct was more than enough to end this game, and this is just going to be another win for Cerberus. Game 1 going to them. And that is just a Game 1 victory for Cerberus here, playing it very, very well. Now, I think Blue Milk does have to go back to the drawing board to see if they can fix things up here before game number 2, but overall,
Yeah,
it was a well-executed game from Cerberus.
I like the Caitlyn pick. The Caitlyn pick was fine. The runes, I like I said, I think Wheels Temple was better. I just didn't like the Alistar. I think instead of blind picking the Aatrox, you need to pick up the Morgana, because the Morgana with your Hecarim, with your Cass is so good because you use Black Shield, and then Skarner can't go on top of them, Wukong can't get on top of them, and then Thresh can't get on top of them because the Black Shield.
One thing that did happen is because the Morgana was not picked up, they were able to pick that Thresh, and Cherenko played very, very well on that champion. So
And then Duelist, like I said, he had a perfect game.
14-0-6, also
Almost
had the GA.
perfect almost perfect CS. 14 kills, 0 deaths. That's what you want to see from your Kai'Sa.
And unfortunately, it was just not drafted as well as it could have been, but it was also not played as well as it could have been as well. We've seen these players play a lot better before, but don't forget, BM also has 2 role swaps as well as a substitute. It's not the ideal comp or ideal team that they wanted to bring in tonight, but they're trying their hearts out. We'll see if they are able to come back for game number 2. But we are going to go for a short break. It is going to be a series lead for Cerberus right now, taking it 1-0 right now. We still have a couple more games to play. We'll see if they are able to come back and make it a series, or if Cerberus is just going to claim it with the 2-0. So we'll be right back, and we'll go ahead and vote for your player of the game. And personally, I do think it would have to go to Duelist. He played it very, very well, but another contender, in my opinion, would have to be those Thresh. Those hooks were incredible. So we'll be right back in just 5 minutes. We'll see what everyone has to say, and take care.
You could turn me on and turn me off with your gaze. You could make me feel oh so much with your ways. It's so perfect You flick the switch, you know me so well. You turn me on like nobody else. I'm a project for you to complete. You're so perfect, and now I need you to need me. Exposure.
Make up your own rules as you go. Stay only true to what you know and who you are. And who you are. The road may be rough, you might not see the top, but winners don't quit and winners don't stop. Believe may look large, you might think that you'll fall, but winners aren't born, winners work hard. They work hard. You can't win if you don't play. The game might be dirty, but it's okay. You can't win if you don't play. You can't win if you don't play. The game might be dirty, but it's okay. You can't win if you don't play. So you better play the game.
Hello, everyone. It is gonna be, as you expected. Let me turn this music real quick. Mr. Duelist as your player of the game, and I think he deserved it. He had a clean and perfect one. He played it incredibly well. He was just rat-a-tat-tatting all over the enemy team, going perfect. But don't forget, it wasn't just him. It wasn't him on his own. It was all of Cerberus playing very, very well for game number 1. And yeah, he played it incredibly well. What more could I say? He played the Kaisa well, even against the Caitlyn, and he was able to keep up in CS. He was actually ahead for a good amount of the game, but overall, well played from all of Cerberus, and I think they definitely deserve game number 1 victory. We'll see if Blue Milk is able to come back for game number 2. I definitely think they have a chance. They just have to draft a little bit better, and I think they can actually pull something out of the bag here. But what do you think, Mr. Wolfen, before we do get into draft?
They need to draft and not blind pick things. If you see that if you're gonna pick Caitlyn and they have not banned Morgana, pick up that Morgana. Like this makes more sense. Don't try to blind pick your top laner. I understand Hero 39 is most of Blue Milk's win cons, but the issue is blind picking that Aatrox was their downfall because it was able to give Cerberus a counter pick, which was Wukong.
Definitely. So we are just going to head into draft real quick, and we'll get this started. We'll see what people have taken away. Have already been a couple of bans, so we'll be right back. And here we are. So it is going to be that Seraphine and Tristana ban for Cerberus, but followed up by Kaisa and Jax ban from Blue Milk. And they're not letting Duelist onto that one once again, not letting him take that Kaisa for another spin.
Yeah, I like the. I'm surprised that Cerberus banned the Seraphine. And they also banned the Morgana. I'm surprised they banned the Morgana as well.
So what that tells me is that Cerberus does not play the Seraphine, and they do not want Caitlyn Morgana to be picked. And they're opting to ban the Morgana part of that duo. So
I'm interested to see what CRB is gonna go. It looks like 3 ADCs are gonna be banned out. The 3 ADCs are really strong, but they left the Udyr open.
And he is gonna be.
CRB is hovering the Udyr.
And we'll see if the Bearman is gonna go for a spin. He's gonna run at Mach 10. See if they take that one.
And
it is gonna be locked in.
It's interesting that you see. Okay, so we'll see what Blue Milk's gonna draft here. We'll see if they've learned from their draft mistake from last time. I hope they pick their ADC and they pick their jungle here. It makes the most sense.
Definitely.
You have the ADC pool is really small right now, so you need to. Okay, that's an interesting pick. I don't know if that's a good pick in the Udyr, but
it hasn't been locked in yet. We'll see if this is a hover, but the Fiddlesticks, a very interesting one. It is going to be locked in.
Fiddlesticks is locked in. I don't know. I'm curious to see what Blue Milk's gonna go with the rest of their comp, but as far as I know, Udyr does win against Fiddlesticks.
For the most part, I do think that is very true. But Fiddlesticks is able to appear, but Gurf is going to pick up that Thresh here, so it is going to be a jungle support pickup for Blue Milk.
And that's a nice pickup.
Zaya, very strong into both the Fiddlesticks and the Thresh. You're able to dodge out a bunch of their methods or a bunch of their ways in. And we'll see what the support pickup here is. It might be a Rakan. I'd love to see the Zaya Rakan duo, the Lovers duo, go in for something. Looking for play.
Yeah, but I don't think you don't want to pick Rakan against the Thresh. That's the thing you don't want to do. So I don't think Rakan should be the pick here because Thresh can just flay. Yeah, okay, that's a better pick. Alistar is a really good combo for Zaya. It lets Zaya be able to pull off her entire combo quickly. Rakan, like I was saying, Rakan's not a good pick here because when Rakan goes in, Thresh can just flay him backwards and hook him.
In lane, it's definitely not as fun as you want, but I think this duo of Zaya Rakan, especially come mid-late game, is very strong. It gives the Rakan a gigantic window to come in. He has a gigantic engage, but Charenko has been playing very well. And he was able to land some beautiful hooks, but Gurf is going to take that one away, so they are going to be swapping. It is blue side Alistar once again, but it's going to be Charenko piloting the big mad cow. But we'll see.
I'm interested to see what kind of ADC they want to go for.
Into that Zaya. I do think another hyper carry is in order, but
I don't think the
Caitlyn an Ashe picked up 4 kills.
That's a really nice pick for Blue Milk. It has really good synergy with the Fiddlesticks, with the Thresh, because you can just do Ashe R into Fiddlesticks. So.
Definitely. You can't aim for that Zaya, however, if she has that Feather Storm up. It is going to be another Malphite man coming from Blue Milk. They do not want to see Rico on that one. And a rock is very difficult to deal with. I mean, I don't like having rocks thrown at me. I don't want to have a mountain thrown at me as well. So
it's Malphite. That Malphite, it's hard to contest against. Like you can pick Mordekaiser to counter him, but the issue with it is it's still Malphite.
Malphite is strong, but I do think the Mordekaiser is a really good pick into it. And it is going to be a Yone ban, so Troll Wrecker not playing that one. Game number 2. We'll see what Blue Milk is going to take away here. And I think it should just be another top ban or another mid ban because Rikuo played it very, very well. No Monkey Man, so it is going to be targeting Rikuo, getting rid of a couple of those champions.
So it looks like it looks like they might go for the Aatrox pick for Hero 79 again. I don't know if Aatrox would be really good with Blue Milk's comp. I'd rather see him on his Darius instead. I think having Darius here would be 10 times better for them.
I think Darius overall is strong, but in
and
it is going to be banned away though.
CRB knows exactly what they're trying to do, and they banned the Darius. Yeah, Darius would have been terrified with the Fiddlesticks Thresh comp. Like the E and you just don't want to do that.
We're going to see Heroes Gnar. We'll see if he's able to pilot this one. It is going to be a blind pick, however. I would like
a blind pick Gnar. It's not that bad. Blind picking Gnar. Gnar's a champion where he can he has a lot of disengage, a lot of engage. And it looks like they're opting for.
It's gonna be the Aatrox. I don't know how I feel about that. I would have picked an Aurelia here. Aurelia is incredibly strong into that Gnar.
Oh, you could pick Camille too.
Camille as well, but Camille has a more difficult, not a rougher, just a more difficult one than the Aurelia pickup. So it is gonna be the Aatrox locked in for CRB. And I do want to see Hero pick up either that Bramble Vest or that Execution is calling. He needs to respect that Aatrox healing. He knows how the champion works, he knows it in and out, and let's hope he's able to play against it. So it is going to be the Ari once again.
Ari once again. I wonder what they're meant.
I like the Blitzcrank cover. It is going to be that Aura for Athena once again. Oh, the Jace hover. Ooh, I'd love to see some Jace, but it is going to be that Ari once again. We'll see what.
They're trying to toy with Blue Milk right now. I'm curious to see what mid laner they pick. They saw that CRB's mid laner. They saw that Fossil is a really good Ari, and I don't like that pick.
The Wind Warrior Yasuo picked up. The Wanderer.
You have no. The only AP you have on your team is Fiddlesticks, and that's not enough AP in my opinion.
Fiddlesticks does output a decent amount of damage, but I don't think it's enough to circumvent not having an AP mid laner, especially with a lot of strong AD threats.
And also, you have no knockups.
They do have the Gnar.
Well, they have Gnar, but the Gnar has to be Mega Gnar, and then Thresh has to land a really good flay. And also, the Yasuo has to be good enough to be quick enough to press R when Thresh flays, and that's actually a really hard thing to do.
It is definitely hard to time, but we'll see if Troll Wrecker is able to pilot this one. So we'll see what happens here in game number 2. But I do think that Blue Milk at least has an identity they're going for. They have a lot of long range ways in with that Thresh, with that Fiddlesticks, or not long range, but surprising angles. I think that's what they're going to look for here. They're looking for some surprising angles, so it is going to be a lot of vision control, or vision control is going to be very necessary for CRB, because the way Fiddlesticks has to play is through Fog of War, and if Fiddlesticks does not have that Fog of War, it's going to be very, very difficult for Dauntless to play this one out. So
yeah, I'm just curious about what Blue Milk's comp is trying to go. I understand you want to do the synergy with the Ashe Fiddlesticks. I understand that, but the Yasuo.
The Yasuo is a little interesting.
The Orianna would have been good here. Syndra would have been good here. Something that does AP damage that has CC lock. Yasuo? No.
The Yasuo's a little interesting in my opinion, but I mean, if they are able to make it work, if Troll Wrecker is a Smurf on that champion, they might be able to pull it out.
And he could, outmaneuver the Ahri. But the issue is, I have played the Ahri Yasuo matchup so many times, and it's really not that hard to beat a Yasuo's Ahri. It's not. You just have to be patient. Be patient and just time your E's correctly, time your charms correctly onto that Yasuo.
So it is definitely a skill expressive matchup here for both sides, and I just think that Blue Milk just picked a stable bot lane here. I don't know if they're looking to win lane. They are looking to maybe out pressure with CS as well as wave clear.
I don't think they're looking to win lane, because you can't really, just like last game, Alistar needs to realize he cannot win against. You can't do anything against a Thresh. You can't do anything, definitely now you can't do anything against an Ashe. Yeah, you do have Zaya, so he needs to just kind of roam around, let Zaya get the solo XP, try to get your Ahri ahead, try to get your Aatrox ahead if possible. Same thing with Thresh. You can't do anything in lane. You can't really kill a Zaya. When Zaya gets her Feather Storm, she's untargetable, so you can't really hook her as well. So you just need to roam around trying to get your other lanes ahead.
Definitely.
And in my opinion, it solely lies on these two supports roaming around actually and trying to get those solo lanes ahead, just like last time.
So chat is definitely recommending that the cleanse, and I think cleanse here is very, very necessary for that Zaya.
Yeah, cleanse.
There is
Cleanse
an
would
Ashe,
be-
there is a Fiddlesticks, there's a Gnar, there's a Thresh. There's a lot that you can't
definitely
cleanse.
need cleanse here, unless the Zaya's not looking the front line. If Zaya's not looking the front line, I guess you can bring heal, but I recommend cleanse. It's 10 times better. You don't want to just get CC by one of these guys, because if you get CC by one of them, you're dead.
It is. They do have a very deadly comp. They have a big pick setup with the Ashe, with the Fiddlesticks, but it's going to be a bad vision control.
Yeah, it's gonna be vision control. It's gonna be up to like I said, it's gonna be up to both the supports that actually play the champions really well
And be able to
correctly.
move around the map. Yeah.
And move around the map and trying to get their solo laners ahead, because they're not gonna do much against each other in bot lane. They're not.
It's definitely going to be difficult for both bot lanes to actually have a lot of kill threat here, because they have ways to peel each other away. Thresh has that flay, he has that hook, but Alistar has the headbutt and the pulverize to keep you out of a fight as well. So it's mostly just them going to be handshaking some farm here, maybe poking out a little bit, but that's just how things are in that bot lane. But I think this mid lane...
It's interesting to ban the Jinx, but not the Ahri. I'm surprised they left Ahri open. Fossil proved that they could play Ahri really well, and if you look at what we're doing the loading screen, they had about almost over 300,000 mastery points on Ahri. So the person plays Ahri a lot, and the person plays Ahri really well. I don't know why they left it up. I'm quite curious about that.
Well, I do not think the Ahri was the X factor. I definitely do think it was that Kai'Sa
Well,
and
you
that
definitely,
Thresh being
but
the X
I don't
factor
think
of that
you
game.
should ban the Jinx.
I do think Jinx is strong enough to warrant a ban if you don't play it yourself and you're not banning Caitlyn.
Or maybe not ban the Jax, because in my opinion, you can just pick a tank, or if you're gonna pick Gnar, you can just pick Gnar, and Jax can't really do anything against Gnar. It's a matchup that literally it's a skill matchup, and all you need to do is just make sure the Jax just can't get on top of you.
So Duelist does play a lot of Jinx, so it is going to be a respect ban coming through. And I just think Jinx, even though she is a hyper carry, she is strong right now and worth it to take away.
Yeah, but why would you pick Jinx into an Ashe Fiddlesticks Thresh though?
If you go Gale Force, you are able to play safely, and if you take the cleanse,
but I still think Jinx would just kind of be hard ADC to play, especially into those champions, because one mistake, you're dead.
Well, if you look at CRB's comp, they also do have a lot of damage.
They have a lot of
that
damage,
Aatrox,
but they don't have disengage for the Zaya. I mean, disengage for Jinx if you pick Jinx.
I mean, they did have the Alistar, and they have the Chompers as well, so it's some decent self-kill. But before we do have our predictions open in case you guys do want to spend some tokens tonight. Will BM be able to take home a victory and push this to game number 3, or will Cerberus take it down? So we'll be right back here as we load into game. Place your bets, everyone. We'll see how game 2 turns out.
I saw you smile from across the bar. Yeah, she was pretty and so close but so far. She flipped her hair and I thought this can't be true. How does a man like me get someone like you? And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies. Just like that, you're coming closer to me. Come shake me, grab me, so I wake up from this dream. I can't breathe, come at me. I don't know if I can speak. Then she said, come with me and let's be free. The night is young and I think this could go far. The sky is dark but you're my shooting star. Could see your face reflect upon the moon. It was a pretty summer night in June. And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes.
Welcome back. Here we are, game number 2 getting started. And I forgot to change the overlay, but Blue Milk looking to do some work here. They are down. They are down right now. They're looking to try and make a comeback, but we'll see if they are able to do that today.
If you see, I know
There
everyone's
we go.
probably already typing in chat. Yes, Zaya does not bring cleanse.
I definitely think Cleanse is...
She brought heal, which is interesting. I'm actually
Ooh,
surprised to see
Rico walking
Alistar.
up here. And Aatrox is strong level 1, but he does not have that sustain. And Dauntless is there to match it, so they are looking for looking to do some poke here. But it's just gonna be overall Hero taking that trade home.
Interesting.
Has that Doran's blade. And Aatrox's health regen is very, very low, but it's not gonna matter. It's only 55 seconds into the game. Just looking
I'm
for a little something.
surprised Alistar brought the Ignite and not Exhaust.
There is a lot of burst damage. I'm surprised they didn't bring it. But
The reason I said, like, I'm surprised Ari even didn't bring Exhaust, to be honest. Blue Milk has so much burst damage.
that means Dina thinks she can win this lane if she's taking that Ignite. So we'll see if she's able to bring it home here in game number 2. We'll see. But yes, even if Zaya does have ulti, she doesn't really need cleanse. But I think having that cleanse safety is very, very important here. Because if you don't have ultimate, you still have a way out.
Yeah, I do agree. Also, if you guys didn't notice, Gnar opted for the footwork. In my opinion, I think grass would be better into Aatrox. That's just me. I understand why he was there and I went. Ooh, that poke was really, really well played by Ari, using her Q early damage to just get as much poke as possible for the Yasuo, because Yasuo's a melee champion, Ari's a ranged champion. Use that to your advantage as much as possible. Keep the Yasuo from CSing, keep the Yasuo from farming and getting ahead.
So we're just seeing some bot lane trades here, looking for some poke on each other. But it is going to be the Ashe who should win out, especially in this early game. That's what they're going to look for. But the Yasuo's going to get charmed up under his own tower and take some decent damage in return. Shield already proc. He is going to look for something here. Dashing through those minions, slashing and dashing. But a nice hook from Gurf is going to land, but he's not going to look for that flay. It is a little risky because it was under the enemy tower. Ooh, Rico taking doing a lot of damage, but Hero also taking a nice trade as well. So it is going to be an overall win for Hero because the Aatrox has very low health regen, so taking those health trades and not letting yourself get poked out like that is going to be very, very helpful. He also does have the fleet, but here comes the Udyr. Flash forward from Taranko is going to force the flash out of Killua, and the hook is going to go wide from Gurf. And Zai coming in for that level 3 gank, doing some work here already for that bot side.
Yeah, that was actually really beneficial for Blue Milk. They
Ooh, Hero
and
is gonna look to
also
jump, but he's gonna get pulled back.
that was beneficial for Blue Milk, but also beneficial for CRB. They did get again. They got the EDC Flash. You don't want to. You as an ADC, you don't want to use Flash that early. But they also got Alistar Flash, which is really good because that means Alistar can't flash and
Oh,
do
a nice hook
combos.
onto the Zion. Well played from Gurf. It's going to play him backwards, but the headbutt is going to force Killua out of this fight, and Duelist is going to take a big chunk of his damage. And chat, the Alistar is running the Aftershock, so that means he does not have the Phase Rush, nor does he have the Hex Flash or Nimbus Cloak.
Which is interesting. You would see Phase Rush Alistar a lot more than you would see Aftershock. I understand why he wants to go Aftershock. He's going for the takiness. He's going for, hey, I'm just basically going to be that frontline guy who just isn't.
Ooh, another hook onto Duelist, and he's just getting caught out here. Gurf is playing it very, very well. But a root onto Killua is going to mean he takes a lot of damage, but the Lantern's going to keep him safe. He's going to be able to take that one out to safety.
Yeah, that was really good for. In my opinion, it's beneficial for CRB. If you look at it, Gurf has no mana now.
Gurf is very, very low in that department.
Yes, he's landing those hooks, but since they're not getting anything out of it, he's just wasting his mana and benefiting Duelist and Chenko?
Churenko.
Churenko. It's benefiting them more since they can just pretty much go in whatever they want.
I believe the Alistar's secondary tree is the inspiration. He has that stopwatch as well as biscuits.
Oh yeah,
so that's what he is running as a secondary.
So yeah, that's actually it's interesting that he has biscuits.
Yep. Interesting. But the Udyr is invading onto those Raptors to save to claim that one up. And a ward placed by that line brush is gonna make sure that they are gonna see where Dauntless is, and they are pinging him. They do know he's there. They see him. They're gonna look for something maybe in that mid lane. Udyr hovering on that Yasuo.
It's hard to gank. The same thing with just like last game. It was easier to gank Cassiopeia than it is Yasuo. Yasuo is a hard person to gank because he can just usually just walk out of it or eat out of it if he has minions nearby. So I feel like Udyr
looking for a trade onto the Aatrox. Doing a decent amount of work, but that mini-Mar also takes a lot of hurt too. But World Ender is available for Rico if he wants to turn this fight. We'll see if he opts for that, but Hero is probably just going to shove in this wave and look for a base. I think that's what he should do here, because he's in a losing spot because his Mega is going to run out.
Yeah, he was forced to use Mega, but if you look at it, Hero 39 is using his knowledge of Aatrox.
Oh, Gurf, you're walking up way too far, buddy. And here comes Zai. He is looking for that gank once again, the return. The flash forward, he's only going to stun the Thresh, and the hook is not going to land, but here's Dauntless here to keep this fight alive. And Gurf is very, very low. Flash away, but the Ignite is going to take down. He's going to take that one. Zai is very, very low. Heal is burned, and Tranko stuck on the wrong side of the map. Headbutt away. Killua might be able to claim this one. The channel is going to take that one, and Fiddlesticks is going to drain the life out of the Alistar.
Fiddlesticks should not have taken that. He should have given it to his Zaya. I mean, his Ashe. I don't think.
Troll Wrecker's gonna land. He's gonna spin in a dash, and the R is gonna land. He's doing a lot of work here and gonna block that. Flash forward, and Dina's gonna flash in return. So it is gonna be a trade of summoners and ultimates.
Yeah, that was a trade of summoners and ultimates. It looked like it was looking for Ari, but then again, it turned into Yashua's favor, and I feel like if they would have stayed, they would have died because Fiddlesticks was on his way.
Fiddle was there. Fiddle looked for something. Ari is smart to back out of that one. And Killua is being forced away from the wave because Churenko is there before the Thresh. And yeah, this bot lane is looking a little interesting. So both AD carries did not end up with a kill, but Rico is very, very low, but so is Hero. And the World Ender is popped, so that means a lot of healing come through. Flash away. Rico is scared to take that one. And that's just going to be a flash for free.
Yeah, he needs to be careful. He's back to Little Gnar, so that means he has the poke, and if Rico doesn't be careful, he could just die by the Gnar.
He is in a very low health situation, so he's just gonna he's gonna take this wave and then look for that base. The Aatrox is not having the most fun time into that Gnar.
No, and I do agree. Fighting against Gnar as a melee champion, especially like your Aatrox, it's really hard to do that. And it looks like, oh, I don't know if Gnar's going this, but I think he is. Gnar looks like he's going for the Trinity Force.
So he has that Hearthbound Axe, but that also does build into the Stride
Oh,
Breaker. But
Gurf needs to be careful.
you're greeting, buddy. He's stuck in the wrong spot. Has no flash, and this is just going to be a free kill. Charmed up, and this is going to be given over to Dina, or maybe Sai. We'll see. But this is just a very, very dead Gurf. But Rico is already down here, maybe looking to help take away that dragon. But that is a
Did
fresh
he TP down
dead.
there? He wasted. Wow.
burned his TP.
In my opinion, that benefits Blue Milk because Aatrox wasted TP for no reason.
That is a burned summoner for almost nothing, but Troll Wrecker's taking a lot of damage here, not respecting the Aatrox damage. Aatrox is known as a Yasuo counter, and it's definitely proven, at least here, but I do not know why Rico TP, he did burn it, and I guess it was for the dragon, but this is going to be a trade of objectives, it's going to be a return claim up for Blue Milk in exchange for that one.
Yeah, and last game it was Blue Milk getting first dragon, but now it's CRB getting first dragon, which is really beneficial.
Killua just stopping the backs there. No.
That's just, you know, it's smart to stop backs like that. You know, you're preventing them from resetting, preventing them from getting items in gold. It is frustrating, you know, when you're trying to back and then someone just stops you at the last minute, you know, and then you have to waste another I think it's 5 seconds to just back again.
So, one thing to note, the Aatrox is 20 CS up here. Hero just not CSing very, very well. But the hook is going to land on the minion, but the stun is going to land onto the Duelist. And here comes the Flame, headbutt away, but Duelist is very, very low. Flash forward from Killua, not going to be able to take this one, but this could be the dead cow. This could be some more stake. Flash away, but does Gurf has the hook? That is the question. Play backwards, and this is going to be a kill gifted over to Killua. And the flash was a little unnecessary, but hey, they were able to claim one in the end.
Oh, Ari's down there again. She's looking for something.
Oh, Charm is going to go wide. Not going to land on Gurf this time. He's going to stay alive.
Yeah, Alistar was a little too aggressive there.
Oh, nice try with the Hex Flash hook. Not going to land, unfortunately. But the Gnar is not faring very well. I thought he would be further ahead, but instead he's behind. Oh, here is Dauntless. Dauntless is here to match that.
It's just like you were talking about before the game loaded. People who mean footwork are usually not confident.
Looking for a trader onto Rico, but here comes the World Ender, and Aatrox is going to win this one for sure. Here he comes. Is he going to flash forward? No, he is not. He does not have the flash, so Hero is forced to burn that one to keep himself alive. And I do not see an Executioner's Calling or a Bramble Vest, which I would have loved to see out of him.
But as I was saying, it's hard. It's if you're not.
Oh no! He greeted for the minions. He also was trying his best to outplay this one. Directed Cam, please take me back. I'll put myself there, but Dina is gonna look for something here. But here comes the Fiddlestick Spear onto Ari. Could mean her death. She does not have the Spirit Dash, and she is gonna fall. Dauntless claiming that one. A second kill for himself.
Yeah, that was actually really nice. Ult by Fiddlesticks, a nice just hiding in the bush, waiting for his timing to just get onto the Ari, since Ari did not have her Spirit Dash.
Ooh, Rico is looking for another trade once again. Hero taking a lot of damage for free, and the wall up is also gonna miss. So there's just some trading up here on the top side, but it's definitely going in Rico's favor.
Yeah, but as I was saying, if you're not confident with Gnar, you see Gnars usually take footwork.
Oh, a beautiful hook onto Duelist once again, but it's not going to mean much, but hey, looking for that angle is what you want to see. And a lot of damage going on to him as well. Duelist definitely feeling the pain.
Yeah, I can see Duelist is having a more hard of a time in this lane than he did in the last lane.
The hook is going to go wide though. Unfortunately. Play backwards is going to mean something, and that's just more damage traded, but Hero stuck in a bad spot up in the top side. Very, very low. He's very squishy, and does not have his Mega charged up just
If you didn't realize, Gurf kind of messed up that gank by Fiddlesticks. He threw his lantern straight behind him, making Alistar and Xayah back off.
Oh, Yasuo going for something. It's going to land the ultimate. And he is going to block that charm, but he is going to get ignited, and Dina's going to burn the summoner for an ultimate. And Chirenko is
that's
here,
what-
though. That might be the reason, but some healing coming through. He has that Vamp Scepter. He's going to be able to stay in that one. And the Control Word is going to spot out Chirenko. So Troll Wrecker knows not to walk up too far. But he also has the Gnar, and he also has the Fiddlesticks in his back pocket. He's going to look, but the Charm is going to land. And he's stuck under tower. This is just going to be a solo kill for Fossil Dina once again.
Again, Troll, you step up way too far, and then
Oh, the Flea is going to land. And Chirenko is trying his best, but he's going to be charmed up. Dauntless is taking a lot of damage here, and Zai is there to claim that one. Gurf is going to flash his way, but not the right spell, Zai. And Gurf is going to be able to walk into that one. He's going to miss the play, though. Not going to be able to take a return kill on that one. But Hero is also taking a lot of damage up on the top side. He's going to be able to walk away from that one.
Yeah, World Under is up again for Rico, so if Rico wanted the tower dive, he really could.
Definitely could have. But Mega Gnar is almost charged, though. So this could be a turnaround.
Yeah. And then, like I said before, like, this is one of the reasons why I don't like the Yasuo pick here. I understand, you know, you're playing Yasuo, you're trying to be aggressive, but, like, you need to be careful, like, because if you fall too far behind on Yasuo, Yasuo is a really hard champion to get back in.
Or onto the support is going to land, but Gurf might be caught in a bad spot. The combo is going to land, but then he's just going to fall. And Chirenko's going to claim that one.
Ooh, and you do not want to see that if you're
2
an
and
ADC.
2 Alistar. 2 and 2.
You want those kills. You want those kills on your Xayah because you don't want your Xayah to fall off, and Xayah's already having a hard time in lane.
So it was Gurf who picked the, or not Gurf. It was Hero who picked up the Herald, and it was used. But the Charm is going to land once again. Trollwrecker not win wall in that one, and here comes everyone. And this is the Goon Squad, and Zai's going to take that one.
And yeah, and Yasuo just overstepping again. Overextending. He saw that Alistar and Udyr was bot lane, and then he saw them disappear. So you have it warded. So you would have expected that they would, either try to reset or roam. So you need to just, play it safe. But what people say, it's Yasuo syndrome. When people play Yasuo, they think they gotta be aggressive. They gotta try to win the game as much as possible. And no, you don't want to do that.
Very,
you want
very
to be
well.
careful.
You could just sit back and play the game from your tower. And he's just overextending a little too much and getting caught out for no reason, unfortunately. And this is just going to mean a lot of turret damage for Dina. And here comes Troll Wrecker. He is level 9, he is a level down, but is ahead in CS, but is also 0-2.
And you also need to be respectful that Dina knows how to play Ahri. They have, proven last game. They know how to play Ahri. They know how to time their charms correctly.
Oh, the charm is going to land once again, and that's a lot of damage on the Troll Wrecker. Wind wall backwards, and Chirenko is waiting on the wings. He might be looking for something, but he is instead going to look elsewhere. He is going to sit by that wall. He might look for something.
Yeah, and again, it looks like once again, Gurf has decided to stay down bot lane, and I just don't understand this. You need to roam. You need to let your ass get solo XP, because all you're doing is you're just watching your solo laners lose super hard.
I do think the Fresh could look for a little something in those solo lanes, maybe try and give the edge over to them. But this could just be a dive onto Duelist. Featherstorm is burned, and well, yeah, I mean that's what you have to do when you're playing weak side as that AD carry. No support with you. You just gotta accept that you are gonna lose that one. Dauntless is gonna miss that W though.
Look at the CS difference between Aatrox, Udyr, and now Xayah.
Yeah, the Xayah is playing it very, very well. She's just as farmed up as her solo laner.
It's not as a big CS lead with the Ashe and Xayah, but the Gnar and Aatrox, huge CS lead.
Herald is going to be summoned up here, but Dauntless able to land a 2-man spear into everyone with that Crow Storm. He's taking a lot of damage, forced to flash his way. Rift Herald is going to land, and that's just going to be a tower given. They are going to look to try and take it down, but that is just going to be first tower given with that Rift Herald. But Troll Wrecker caught in a bad spot. Silence is going to land, keep them alive. And here comes a 2-man ultimate from the Yasuo, but he's stuck in the middle of 3. And that's just going to be him and Hero falling down for nothing. Both solo laners jumping in to their demise.
Yeah, and in my opinion, that benefited Blue Milk and
Dauntless is going to be able to walk away from that one.
CRB in the beginning, because you force Fiddlesticks to ult, and then you force Fiddlesticks to flash.
Definitely, they forced that Fiddlesticks flash out very, very well, and then just led for their solo laners getting a little greedy and looking for something that they didn't have, and they just both Hero and Troll Wrecker unfortunately jumped in, dove, looked for the angle, and fell, unfortunately. Yep, that's not what you want to see, but they have a chance. They are definitely at a better position than they were beforehand for our last game. They still have a bit of still a decent gold deficit, but they're gonna try, and we'll see if they are able to make it come back. But unfortunately, the solo lanes are not pulling their weight.
Yeah, it was all about the solo lane. It was all about the support who can roam the best. And this Alistar is showing, hey, I don't need to stay with my Xayah. My Xayah is still gonna be fine by herself. She has the escape. She has it. All right, yeah, you might get my tower, but guess what? Look at the rest of the map.
Not in a great position.
Like, Hero 39, 50 CS behind. If you're looking at Fiddlesticks, Fiddlesticks is 30, I think about 38 CS behind.
Definitely not in the greatest position.
Ari is catching back up in CS against Yashua, and then Xayah still has a CS lead against Ashe, where it's been a 2v1 the entire game.
Hero taking a bad trade, but he's going to land that Gnar into the wall. Rico is able to sustain that one up. He is decently tanky, and has those Mertreads to be able to get out of those stuns very, very easily. So that is going to be Dauntless walking away from that one. He is going to take a nice base, and Hero is going to be left on his lonesome up in that top side. Gurf might be able to land something here, but it is just going to be a 3-man down in the bot side, or jungler hovering, just to make sure they are able to push in that wave without getting pressure. But they did not know Fiddlesticks was up there. But the Yasuo is nearby. He's waiting in the wings. They could look for a play here. They have to look for something.
They need to be careful though, because if they do, they are behind. So if they messed up on these ganks, all you're doing is putting an Udyr who's already super far ahead, more ahead, and then you're putting a Xayah ahead, and you don't want to put the Xayah ahead. Also, you're just letting Ari just get free tower.
Unfortunately, they are able to get some free tower damage, but a beautiful wind wall is going to block that charm, but this is just for the wave, just to make sure he's able to claim that one up. And unfortunately, that is a decent amount of tower damage onto that tier 2. Oh, here he goes. Hero looking for something here, looking to make something happen. But unfortunately, just doesn't have the damage behind him, and that Gore Drinker is going to keep Rugo nice and topped up here. And he's taking himself, with a grain of salt here. He's on that Gnar. He is squishy. He's a little rat right now in that that mini form. Has no exhaust, but beautiful, beautiful stun. It's gonna keep Pasadena out of this fight for a little bit longer. Here comes Troll Wrecker, and Kilo is outputting so much DPS on that Ashe, but Troll Wrecker is gonna fall on the top side of that one, and Griff is gonna get charmed up, and this is just gonna be a fiesta, and this is just gonna be a bunch of deaths. Kilo has tried his best. He's slowing it down, but he's not able to. Tita's gonna try and do some damage. Heal is gonna be burned, and that's just gonna be a death. And unfortunately, not.
If you didn't realize it, I don't know who stopped the Fiddlesticks ult, but I think it was the Ari charming the Fiddlesticks.
That's what I think happened. And Hero, once again, taking the bad end of a trade, taking a lot of damage. He's going to be pushed away, but the wall is going to miss it. Flash forward for Rico with that Darkened Blade is going to claim that one, and Hero's world was ended.
Yeah, that way, it like I said, it's hard to now trade into Aatrox since you're super far behind. Aatrox is super far ahead, his gold is insane. Yeah, you do have the executioners, but the issue is you don't have that tankiness to fight him anymore because you brought footwork and not Craftsy and dying. So it's hard to do trades against an Aatrox.
Aatrox is in a winning state right now. He is up just below, that's 60 CS mark, or 70 CS mark. Very, very strong. Very, very far ahead. Is on that 2-item spike, has that Gore Drinker, has the Sterek, and he is damn near unkillable at the moment.
And then again, they're giving the blue buff to the mid lane, which is really, really smart. Because Ari does ban through mana really quickly. So giving her that blue buff is actually a good trade for Ari. It's good for Ari.
Ooh, 2-man. Is going to be something, but Troll Wrecker stuck in the wrong spot. Is going to be able to get away with that Dark Passage. That Lantern from Griff going to keep him alive for now.
That was a really nice engage by Alistar.
Troll Wrecker, no, he dashed forward into the enemy team, into the waiting arms of everyone. He is just going to fall. And Chiranko going to take another one.
That 3 and 2 and 7 Alistar, man, that's terrifying. He needs all the gold in the world, he needs all the tanky items.
Killua was stuck in a bad spot. Taranko gonna dive under that tower, but he might just be stuck. Rico is trying out, but that R is gonna land, but he has the merch guys. It's gonna keep himself alive. DPS from Killua. He's trying, he's dashing, he's doing his best, but it's just not gonna be enough to stop that dive, and that's gonna be a bot turret fall in.
Yeah, and that right there, it shows that, you know, like, even though he was taking so much damage, Aatrox is just super far ahead right now.
He's sitting at that 2-item spike. He has the Merchant, is able to shrug off a lot of that CC, and that's going to be an inhib tower also falling down in the mid lane. So a lot of work done for the side of CRB. They are outputting a lot of work here, getting objectives, just taking over this game.
This Alistar is pretty much saying, hey, like, I'm here. Don't forget me. I'm still a crucial part of this game. And he's just making it super impossible for Blue Milk to do anything.
Everyone on Cerberus is strong here. Everyone has a lot of gold in their pockets, and they're gonna be winning this one with the wallet right now.
Yeah, if you didn't see it, it's a 700 bounty gold on that Udyr because he has 6 kills and has not died yet. And plus, actually, everyone on CRB has a bounty.
Everyone has a bounty, even that cow. The steak is looking to eat some people today instead of him getting eaten. So, right now, everyone is strong, and I think if Cerberus do make some mistakes, it could just be Blue Milk maybe being able to come back with those shutdowns, going onto the right carries, going onto that Ashe, going onto that Yasuo. That could be what you need, but they have to play next to perfectly in order for them to be able to win this game right now. The deficit they put themselves at, they are at a 10k deficit, or just over 10k full deficit, and it is soul point for Cerberus, and that Mountain Drake is very, very potent for them. Every single one of them would love to have that extra 20% armor and that shield, but Yasuo is looking for a play here. He's going to land a 2-man ult, the flash forward is going to land the hook on Taranko, but oh no, that charm is going to land. Controller stuck in the middle of 4 once again. Aatrox on the backside, everyone is getting corralled in, but a beautiful Gnar from Hero. This is going to be the death of the Alistar. Ash is going to take this one. Killua is trying his heart out. He's kiting. Rikuo is trying his best to get onto that carry, but it's going to be the Gnar who falls first. Gurf is stuck on the backside as well, and he is just going to fall. A nice stun from the Idiot means Dina is going to claim that one.
That was a really nice engage by Hero 39. That was a really good engage by Yasuo. But the issue is that Yasuo at the time was 0 and 5. You're too far behind.
Yeah, he is.
You can't force fights like that.
They looked for the angle, they had it, but they didn't realize that Aatrox was nearby. I think it was a good look. They just had no clue where Aatrox was.
I don't see Blue Milk coming back from this. I don't see Blue Milk winning. I think Blue Milk should, use this game as an opportunity to learn, learn from the mistakes. They could win this, they could come back, but you have a 0-5 Thresh and you have a 0-6 Yasuo. That's a really hard way to come back.
They are going to look to try and maybe steal this soul. Everyone is walking down. They might be able to take this one, but it's looking very, very well rough. With Rico on the flank, and he's trying to put in some work. Killua is going to fall. Or Killua is trying his best, but the fight on the front side means that Dauntless is just going to fall there. And Troll Wrecker is stuck between 3 members, and the Spirit Dash forward means he's going to fall, and that Shield Bow is not going to protect him. Not so mortal is that Yasuo. But on the backside, everyone was able to walk away there. Killua is staying alive. So is that Hero on the Gnar. Able to keep himself there, but overall that is soul given over, and that is not what you want.
Yeah, you not want to have Cerberus should not have gotten Dragon Soul like there. Again, it looks like Blue Milk's, like, their comms is, it looks like they're not on point with each other, because you see Yasuo trying to go for the steal, Fiddlesticks was trying to go for steal, but the rest of the Blue Milk's team was just in the back, not wanting to do it. So I feel like that was just miscommunication on Blue Milk's part, and in my opinion, it was not the greatest choice for them. They should have tried to contest against the Soul, because now you gave Aatrox a shield, and you gave Udyr a shield, and you gave Alistar a shield. That's not good.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the substitutes are not able to put out the work of the original Blue Milk squad. They are trying, they have some good looks, but it's just not enough right now, and they've dug themselves a little bit of a hole, and it's a little difficult to crawl out. It is definitely still possible, but it is definitely an uphill battle.
Yeah, Blue Milk can still if Blue Milk can get those shutdown golds, I feel like they could come back. But the issue is, I feel like Blue Milk is so far behind. It's 20 kills to 5. That
Ooh, they're gonna land something onto Zai, but he is just too tanky. That Udyr is just able to face tank and not even have to worry about Thrash Hook at this point of the game. He is 3.5 items. He is sitting pretty. He is sitting tanky, and he is able to walk up and do whatever he wants. Ooh, flash from someone? I was not able to tell who that was, but I think it was the Thresh who was forced to flash there. Alistar just being present means or was that a Hex flash? Not too sure. But they are going to have to try and clear this wave here as things are getting pushed in. Dino is going to head towards that bot side. They're looking at 1-3-1 right now. And apply some pressure, try and get some towers down, and look to end this game. They're going to try and bleed this one out.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to end the game. You know, they need to. You're super far ahead. There's no reason to keep this game going. Because all you're doing is giving an opportunity for Blue Milk to just go and steal Elder Dragon, and they could come back in that game if they get Elder Dragon.
Definitely.
And actually win the game with Elder Dragon. So all you need to do is basically just end the game. You win the team fights, you prove that multiple times, and just try to close it as soon as possible.
That is definitely the play here. Just look to end this game. There's no need to make any more flashy plays. They've already done that enough in the early game. Right now, they just need to try and end this game cleanly and play it right. They don't have to make any crazy plays right now. They put themselves in a great position, and they're just slowly bleeding Blue Milk out right now. And this is just going to be a nice charm landed onto Troll Wrecker once again, and this might be his death, but the stun onto Zai is not going to mean anything. Here comes Dauntless to middle of 4, channeling, draining as much life as he can. Here we're going to land a nice Gnar onto 4, but it's not going to mean anything as Troll falls. Killua is trying his best. Gurk is going to fall as well. Locket not going to mean enough. That Locket is not very solid, and down goes Killua on the back end of that one. Aatrox getting a bunch of resets.
This is why I say you need to respect the Ahri player. Again, Ahri should not have been given this game. She did well. They did well the very first game, and they did well this game. I am so disappointed they let the Ahri go through. I understand you're gonna do the Jinx ban. I understand you want to respect that ban. If you want to do the Jinx ban, that's okay. Then you should not have banned Jax. You needed to take away that Ahri. Either you pick it or you ban it. Because, in my opinion, those charms were game-winning factories right here in this game.
Definitely.
They landed super good charms on the Yasuo, but Yasuo just was kind of useless. He couldn't do anything.
He was not windwalling the charms. He was getting caught out and just out of position, unfortunately, which did lead to the mid lane being broken open very, very early.
I'm still kind of disappointed to see that they did not ban the Ahri. And the other thing is that you left the Udyr open. You know that Zai plays a lot of Udyr. You know he's really comfortable with Udyr. And as you see, he won 11-0-9. And then when they first pick Udyr, your counter is Fiddlesticks. That is not a good counter against Udyr, in my opinion.
I mean, it might be a comfort pick. I think that was what they were looking for. That was the look they were looking for. But unfortunately, they were not able to land the engages that they really, really needed to. And that was what cost them a lot of the game, in my opinion. I think it was very, very good for Taranko to look for those roams, and he was able to find a lot of work there, especially in game number 1. I think that was where he did a lot.
Yeah, no, I feel like a person you should get play of the game, it should be Taranko. He played his champion really well. He roamed like he was supposed to. He looked for picks like he was supposed to. He played Alistar like you're supposed to play Alistar when you know in a lane you cannot do anything in. And he knows, he's like, okay, it's Thresh, Ashe. I can't do much in this lane. Xayah can't do much in this lane. So guess what, Xayah? I'm going to give you all the solo XP. I'm going to give you 2 levels ahead of the Ashe, give you that CS, and I'm just going to go and I'm going to try to look for picks for the rest of my team.
And that was what ended up happening, unfortunately. They were not able to keep an eye on those Alistar roam timers. And Ari was able to land some nice charms. They were able to 3-man or 4-man mid quite a few times. And Alistar was just around the map, and unfortunately they were not able to keep up. But this could just be something to learn about, maybe look back, see if you could find those timers where he was able to leave that lane, and maybe either match them or find ways where you can stop those timers from working.
Mm-hmm. And I do have to give tremendous to the jungle. The jungle did extremely well. They never died once,
Mm-hmm.
just like the Aatrox. And but in my opinion, if he did not have his Alistar there, Udyr would have had a hard time. That's just my opinion. Because Alistar being there with the Udyr helps so much.
Definitely, I think one good thing that CRB definitely really had was that jungle support synergy, and that's very important in this meta here. Having your support with you as the jungler to make sure you're able to do what you need to do, keep yourself ahead, push the enemy jungler away, and also keeping vision throughout the enemy's side, making sure that you know where they are at all times, and that's just what you need to do. You need to keep that vision control up, and that's what Taranka was able to do here.
And I have to give props to Kirilla. He played really well on the Ashe.
I think he played really well both games.
He's both games he played super well. He tried his hardest to peel as much as possible. It's just his team was so far behind that he just could not keep it up. I get it. You pick Ashe. Ashe is a utility champion. She's not a carry champion. She's not a champion that you can put out much DPS and you can 1v9 with if you're not super far ahead with her. She's a champion where you're in the back line, you're doing as much damage as possible, you're laying your R's as much as possible, you're getting vision for your team, but that's really all Ashe can do. She's more of a utility ADC than she is a carry ADC.
Definitely. It was all about the utility, and Killua was outputting some decent numbers considering the fact he was playing that utility role. But overall, I just think today was a Cerberus' day. Last time it was Blue Milk when those two teams clashed, and tonight it was Cerberus, but that means they take home the victory going 8-1.
Yeah, first place and of Seed A.
Pool A, rank 1, and Cerberus definitely were the better team on the day. I think Blue Milk can go back and think about what happened this game, and unfortunately Fliptrick was not able to join us for tonight, and that just meant they had to find a couple players, but had to use some of their subs and role swap a couple of players. But I think if they played a little more stably, played a little more safe, I think it could have been a lot better, because a lot of the gold was given through mistakes. But we'll discuss this more in a little bit as we do head over to a quick break, as you guys do vote for player of the game. We'll see you back on the desk, and I hope everyone has a good night, but this is the time. We'll be back in just a little bit.
It's late, make my mistakes, and somehow I don't feel them, but it's bound to hit me later tonight. I wanna say you're everything I wanted for a while and for the rest of time. I don't wanna fight for you, I just wanna talk, and I don't wanna spin around. I'm scared to call you, can't calm you down. No, better than nobody else. It's hopeless confiding your love kills me every time. I'm stupid addicted to you. I'm stupid addicted to you. Oh, can't get enough of you. Can't get enough of you. The pain is still the same. I tell you I don't feel it, but I've never been a liar. I'm a page that you can read. You're everything I wanted for a while and for the rest of time. I don't wanna fight for you, I just wanna talk, and I don't wanna spin around. I'm scared to call you, can't calm you down. No, be better than nobody else. stupid addicted to you. Oh.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my little desk here. And it is going to be Mr. Zai as your player of the game for game number 2. And I definitely think he did deserve it. He played incredibly well, and he was just pathing efficiently, just being all over the map, being around everywhere, punishing people who were overextending. And he was doing that in game number 1 as well. So he definitely played well both games, making sure he was up in CS throughout the entire game, or throughout the entire series, just being a presence overall. And that's what you need to be as a jungler right now. A lot of it is just being present where you're needed. And that's what he did. Zai was there. He was very important to both victories. He was able to help them out and just make sure his solo laners were on point all night today. So what do you think, Mr. Wolven? What do you think about game number 2?
I'm thinking that Cerberus played really well. Zai played really well on the Udyr. He used Udyr to his advantage, because he's like, okay, they put fiddlesticks into my Udyr. I'm just going to run around the map and get my team as far ahead as possible. And he executed really well, and he went deathless that game. So he had a perfect game.
Perfect game for both player of the games from last one and this one today, or tonight. And Zai was there. He was a presence. And unfortunately, Dauntless just wasn't able to match up today. It was mostly just Zai being able to play around the map, moving around, make a couple invades too, some key invades, which puts that Fiddlesticks very, very far behind. But as well, I do have to give it to, I think the bot lane of Blue Milk tried their best. Like, Gurf did die a few times from a couple of roams, as well as just solo dying. But I think Killua, especially being off-roll, played really, really well. He was off-roll. He usually plays mid, so he was playing AD carry today. And he was putting up some decent numbers for himself. He definitely wasn't, hinting the game.
He was
doing
ahead
his
in
job.
CS for the early game as much as possible. And he was trying to discharge as much damage as possible. He didn't realize I think he out-damaged the entire team, almost out-damaged the entire team of Cerberus, besides the Aatrox. And that's what you want to see on your ADC. That's what you want to see when you think of an ADC. You want to see him dish out as much damage as possible, trying to get his team, the position where they want to be at.
But
he was only 2-2-2. So that's impressive.
Well, what I think this game shows us is that Cerberus has gained a lot of synergy now. They're playing well together. They're not overextending. They're making good plays. They're making good decisions. And unfortunately, Blue Milk were not able to make some good decisions. They made a lot of unideal they made a lot of bad situations for themselves by making some plays that didn't need to happen. And it's fine to go for like 60-40, 80-20 plays, but they were going for a lot of 50-50s, especially in those early games, and that's where a lot of the leads came from. It was just a couple of mistakes, but that's what happens when you you do falter against a snowbally comp if you do
It
give up some
wasn't
early kills.
just the 50-50 plays. What the issue with Blue Milk is that Blue Milk will go in, like Yasha will go in when he's 0-6.
Well, I mean, honestly, you have to look for a play, and it wasn't a bad call. It was just the fact that they didn't have vision, and unfortunately, Aatrox was there to match. And it is going to be a lot about vision control. They didn't know, they didn't have the information, so they made a call with the information they had.
But they dived under tower though. The
Well,
tower was still there, and then they made like in my opinion that's a bad play. That's a bad call. You force a fight when you're behind, and you had no vision, and you dive under the enemy tower. That is a bad play. There's no speaking about it.
I
Yes,
do think there is
your
an argument
Nard
for it being a fine
did
play. There definitely
like
is an
your
argument
Nard
for
did
it.
land a good ult, and Yashua did have a good ult, but the problem is you couldn't deal the damage because you were that far behind.
The damage was being dealt. It was the fact that it had to be moved away because the Aatrox joined the fight. Because the Aatrox joined the fight, Ash was not able to DPS.
But the problem is why fight? That's my
Because
whole
they need
point.
to
Like,
make it, they need to make an opportunity for themselves. Otherwise,
yeah,
they're
they
just
make
going to
an
slowly bleed
opportunity,
out.
but you just need to look for the picks. You cannot.
It
look
was
for
a pick.
team
They were
fights
looking
like
for
that.
3 kills there, and they had 5 people there as well. So
But
it is
3
the play
kills
that you have to look.
under Cerberus's tower. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yes, it
And
may have been under
they
tower,
did
but it's
no
definitely
damage to
diveable.
them.
If
But
you
they did,
execute it properly, it's diveable.
but they did no damage to them. That's the thing.
They were
they
doing
got
the
nothing
damage.
for it.
Like Killua was outputting a lot of damage until the Aatrox showed up, right?
Well, yeah,
And they
Killer
have
was
to make
doing
a call with
damage,
the information they have.
but the issue is the only person that was doing damage was the ADC.
And I think
So
that was the
once your
point.
once their front line died, once the Nard gets, got blown up, once Joshua got blown up, what is Bloom's? How is Bloom going to keep their Ash alive? They can't. So like that's my issue. Is like why are you forcing fights? Let the Ash get items. Let the Ash try to get ahead on CS, and just look for the small picks. Don't look for the 3v5s. Don't look for the 4v5s. Look
It
for the 1v2s or 1v3s or
it
1v5s.
they
Like that's
have
what you need to look for.
okay. Well, the problem, like, it was, like, I get you're saying it's a bad call, but it's the call that you have to make when you're very far behind. You have to look for something. You have to create your own opportunities. And it just didn't turn out for them because they didn't have the information they needed. But they made a correct call with the information they had. It just didn't end up very well because Aatrox was near when they were supposed to.
I guess I don't know.
Right?
I still disagree that was a bad play, but I guess that's my opinion. Because they're already behind, and you're just putting yourself further behind.
Well, as a composition, they definitely do get outscaled. The Gnar does not scale nearly as well as an Aatrox. Udyr is always going to be useful. Fiddlesticks does fall off. Xayah is definitely going to outperform DPS wise, but they have to look for something. They have to try and put themselves in a winning situation. And they did have a numbers advantage, and they had hero tank, and that's what they needed to do. It was just unfortunately that Aatrox showed up and stopped their DPS. They were able to blow up a couple of targets. They just weren't able to finish it off because of the Aatrox showing up. So that's just unfortunate timing and working with the information they had. They did not know where the Aatrox was, and he didn't even blow TP, so they weren't able to rely on that.
No, I understand what they were going for. I just think it was.
It may be a bad play
lacking-
numbers wise, but it's a play you have to make.
Like them forcing something like that. Like I wouldn't. I like in my opinion, I would not want to force it.
I get it. I get you might not want to force it, but
it might go the wrong way
it-
like it did.
it most likely is going to go the wrong way. But the problem, like with that kind of mentality, is if you're not willing to make risky decisions, you're just going to bleed out because of the composition you drafted, right? Like if you look at the champions that were drafted for both teams, it's definitely on Cerberus because they have the scaling factor and they were already ahead. So what you need to do as Blue Milk is try and find a numbers advantage, and they did have that numbers advantage. They just weren't able to do enough with it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stop talking right there because, like I said, I think it was a bad play. That's just my opinion. But kudos to both teams. I understand Blue Milk, had a bunch of subs, wool swaps. So hopefully next week they'll come back stronger with their full roster and people in the right locations. So I'm happy. I would be happy to see if Blue Milk does make a comeback. Because right now I know they're in a 2-game loss streak right now because they lost last week and now they're lost this week. So I hope they can learn from the losses and see what they can improve.
I definitely do think they are a team that can work really well together. They just didn't have the synergy today. It definitely showed with the way some of these decisions were made. But that's just something they can improve on, and they didn't have their full roster. So that just comes with the territory of bringing in new players or swapping players to different roles. And they did what they could with the pieces they were given, with the cards they were dealt, and it just didn't turn out in their favor. But I think everyone on Cerberus played very, very well. They didn't make any mistakes, or they didn't make any major mistakes. There were some micro errors, but that comes with everything. Everyone makes mistakes. But they didn't make any game-losing mistakes. They didn't create bad situations for themselves. And that's just how the cookie crumbles. They played it well. They didn't put themselves in a situation where they could throw the game. They made good calls. They made 100%. They made 80% plays. They made 100% plays. They made 60% plays. They made plays that they knew were going to work, and that's just how you can win a game. Sometimes those risky plays do work out, and unfortunately for Blue Milk, those risky plays just didn't pay off. So with that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. We do have the LRS Premade. They're playing tomorrow. Things are going to look very, very interesting there, seeing some new teams out there. So we also have LTS on Friday, as well as Valorant all throughout the weekend. So we hope to see you guys there. We also have the Let's Talk Legends podcast coming up in the next couple days. So we hope to see you there. Maybe chat a little bit with us, spam some emotes, stuff like that. So I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Take care, and have a good night.